Hello, everyone. Welcome to our In the Inbox series where we answer questions that have been asked by folks like you about the real estate industry here. So we are on question number 93. We have 92 great questions that have been answered before this, but we're going to hop right into question number 93. And this is from Rhett. And Rhett is saying, how much is hurricane insurance in Belize? And this is a topic that has come up quite a bit, especially with all the hurricanes and storms that have been passing through the US, the southeast part of the US, like Florida, over the last few months, because I know it is getting very difficult and expensive for people in Florida, for example, to have hurricane insurance. A lot of times we're seeing people are relocating from Florida because their homes are becoming uninsurable or their premiums are becoming very, very high. Now, good news here in Belize is that we don't necessarily tend to have those same price tags that are associated with the hurricane insurance, but I'm going to go through the different types of hurricane home insurance with you, and then we're going to look into some case studies with real numbers. So in Belize, there are multiple types of home insurance. There's insurance against acts of God. So if you have hurricane, flooding, that and all of that, you have content insurance. So if you're renting out your property, or if you are an owner and you want to make sure your contents is insured. And then there's also liability insurance. Liability insurance tends to be more so if you are renting out your property. Now we're going to focus so specifically on hurricane insurance or just acts of God in this conversation. I do have another session that talks more in depth about different insurance and the different companies that you can go to. I'll put that link in the description below that to that other session, but we're going to talk specifically about hurricane insurance in this one. Now, do note when it comes to hurricane insurance and your prices, you're going to have a few factors to consider. One is the type of construction. You'll see that wood homes are about 2 to 3 times more expensive to insure than Coventec or concrete homes. Of course, the location is going to be dependent on what your insurance is going to be. And then also, is it a condo or is it a single family home? If it's a condo, there tends to be more of those third spaces, the common area spaces that are insured as well. So you tend to see that prices may be a little bit more expensive. But let's just look into the market right now. These are some real examples of homes that are on the market today. This is specifically on Ambergris Caye for these 3 examples that we're going to see here. So this is an example of a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,200 square foot home. This is a single family home. Now note that it is wood construction. And as we had in the previous slide, wood construction tends to be about 2 to 3 times more expensive than Coventec or concrete. But here with this wood construction, you can see that the insurance is about $4,700 US. And this is against acts of God. So this is against, again, flooding, hurricane, that sort of damage. And then the price for this home is about $549. So this sits on a lot that's about 348 square meters. So it is a smaller lot, but it does act as a single family home, a standalone home here at about 1,200 square feet. The next example that I have for you is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This is a condo. It's 1,705 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath, as I mentioned. And the annual insurance for this property is $2,174.04. Now, there is 2 types of insurance that's covered in this. One is against acts of God, and the other is liability, because this unit is rented out. Now, do note that the annual insurance is going to be covered in their HOA. So what they do is they break up the payments into monthly payments and then add it into their HOA so they don't have one big insurance bill at the end. This is also block construction. So cinder block, rebar, concrete. It's very, very sturdy. It's been a proven method here in Belize to withstand many different types of elements, and it is one that you tend to see is the most common in Belize. So this is a condo, block construction, 1,700 square feet, and the insurance for both liability and acts of God is about $2,100. We'll say $2,200 US. The third is a smaller 1-bedroom, 1-bath. This is also in a condo, and this is also block construction, so it's cinder block rebar method. And the HOA actually covers the annual insurance. So I don't have an exact number, but I will tell you that their monthly HOA for this complex is on the lower side, and it is about $210 US per month. So the insurance for this property is fairly minimal. It's quite minimal, but this is just block construction, smaller property. So obviously, as we can see, it's the square footage that plays a factor into it. It is going to be the size. Well, the size of the home, the square footage. It's going to be if it's a single family home or a condo, is it block construction or wood construction? But what I would say is on average, if you're estimating for a concrete home, I would say estimate anywhere from $1,000 to about $2,500 per year for your insurance. I think you're going to be in a pretty good position. Now, if your home is larger, And you'll probably want to estimate more along the 3,000 to 4,000 range, or if it's wood, just note that the price is going to be about $2,000 to $3,000 or 2 to 3 times more. So just some factors for you to consider as you are playing around with your numbers. Note that if the property is already constructed, you can certainly ask about the insurance to the agent that you're working with. They should have those numbers pretty handy to be able to show you. Again, sometimes it's included in the HOA, as you can see over here, as you can see in these two examples. Sometimes it's not. So it's something that you'll have to procure on your own. Now, if you have a single family home, you're not required to have insurance, but it is something, of course, having that peace of mind. But you can see it is more reasonable, we'll say, than Florida. One more thing I want to mention is if you are doing seller financing for a property, they do tend to require that you have insurance during the time that you're paying off that loan, that mortgage. I know that's very common in many countries if you're doing bank financing, so it doesn't usually change if you are doing seller financing as well. Usually it's just against acts of God if it's not already insured by the HOA, but sometimes they will include contents or other things. So just make sure that you're reviewing that with your agent. If you're looking to spend some time here in Belize, we have a fantastic lifestyle guide that will answer many, many questions for you about residency, how to spend time here, things to bring down if you're thinking about staying here long term. There's a lot of information, comprehensive information in this guide. We're very happy to send it to you. In addition to this guide, we have a lot of other resources that we'll send to you complimentary via email, but all you need to do is reach out to us and our team will be in touch. My name is Rachel Jensen, and best email for us is info@lunarealtybelize.com, info@lunarealtybelize.com, and we can go from there. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bye-bye.